Anatomy of ovaries for the development. Formation of the primary ovary in the female fetus takes place by the 10th week. Coelomic epithelium on the medial side of the mesonephros become thickened to form the genital ridge, the site where the ovary develops. Genital ridge is covered by the germinal epithelium. Previous coelomic epithelium from this germinal epithelium or subcells proliferate and grow into the underlying mesoderm. Primordial germ cells, which are developed from the endodermal cells of the hindgut, part of yolk sac, migrate to the region of the developing ovary, genital ridge area, and give rise to the oocytes. The six spots become broken up into small masses. The cells of each mass surround one oocyte to form the primordial follicle. At birth, each ovary contains about 2 million primary follicles. Relation. Posterior. Attached to the back of the broad ligament by the mesovarium. Lateral. Both are below the bifurcation of the common iliac artery and the ureter. Medial. Femori of the fallopian tube. Borders. Anterior border. Mesovarium border is straight and related to the fallopian tube and obliterated umbilical artery attached to the posterior surface of the broad ligament of the uterus by mesovarium and forms a helix of ovary. Posterior border. Three border is convex and is related to the fallopian tube and the ureter. Attachment. Corner of the uterus by the ovarian ligament. The suspensory ligament attaches the ovary to the pelvic wall and carries within its force the main portion of the ovarian vessels and the nerves. The ovary has three components. Surface. The surface area layer of the ovary is formed by the simple cuboidal epithelium known as the germinal epithelium. The cortex, outer part of the ovary, is largely comprised of the connective tissue stroma. It supports the dozens of follicles. Each primordial follicle contains an oocyte surrounded by the single layer of the follicular cells. The medulla, inner part, is composed of the supporting stroma and contains a rich neurovascular network which enters the helium of the ovary from the mesovarium. Cells found in the interstitium of the ovary that resemble the steroid secreting cells and may secrete the androgen in the human ovary or the ovarian Heller cells. The ovary receives blood from the paired ovarian arteries which arise directly from the abdominal aorta below the renal artery. Venous drainage is achieved by the pair of ovarian veins. The left ovarian vein drains into the left renal vein and the right ovarian vein drains directly into the inferior vena cava. Lymph from the ovaries drain into the pre-aortic and the para-aortic nodes. The ovaries receive the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nerve fibers from the ovarian and the uterine pelvic plexus respectively. The nerve supply of the ovaries arises from the T10. Ovarian fossa. Each ovary lies in the ovarian fossa on the lateral pelvic wall, which is bounded anteriorly obliterated umbilical artery, posteriorly ureter and the internal iliac artery. Ovary develop from the genital ridge. The main portion of the ovarian artery, vein and the nerves are carried to and from the ovary by way of the suspensory ligament. The nerve supply of the ovaries arise from T10. Cells found in the interstitium of the ovary that resemble the steroid secreting cells and may secrete the androgen in the human ovary or the ovarian Heller cells. Formation of the primary ovary in the female fetus takes place by 10th week. Germ cells in the ovary develop from the yolk sac. Lymphatic drainage of the ovary is through the pre-aortic and the para-aortic lymph nodes. At birth, each ovary contains about 2 million primary follicles. 6 spots are derived from the coelomic epithelium. Ovarian fossa is formed by the obliterated umbilical artery, internal iliac artery and the ureter. Posterior border of ovary is free of ligament attachment. Primordial germ cell of the ovary are developed from the endoderm.